Right now on the CBS3 News at 6, loosened restrictions, the adjustments Governor Tim Walz has made with Minnesota's COVID-19 mitigation efforts. Plus, the city of Minneapolis has agreed to pay a massive settlement to the family of George Floyd, how much they'll receive. And we tell you how the county plans on spending its economic relief money.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm John Cardinale. Thanks for joining us. Kristen is off tonight. Minnesota is easing back on some of their COVID-19 statewide restrictions. That announcement was made by the governor this afternoon. The dial back covers many areas and will go into effect over the next few weeks. Here is a look at some of those changes. Starting Monday, March 15th, Minnesotans will be able to gather with up to 50 people outdoors and 15 indoors without household limits. Bars and restaurants will be able to welcome 75% capacity with a limit of 250 people. Bars will also be now able to seat parties up to 4. Gyms and fitness centers will be able to allow 50% capacity, and youth sports that take place outdoors will be able to increase to 50-person pods. The governor says these eased restrictions are due to a continued drop in cases and vaccine distribution across the state.
December, I asked you for a goal line stand, that we were taking the brunt of it. At one point in time, the upper Midwest had the highest infection rates on the entire planet. You did it. And then we took the ball back in January. And I'm just going to say it today, we're beating this thing. We are going to win. And this is maybe not today the end, but it's darn sure the beginning of the end.
Capacity limits will also be removed for salons, barbers, and religious services, with social distancing still in place. The governor also announced changes with indoor and outdoor entertainment venues as we head into the summer months. CBS 3's Natalie Grant listened in on the governor's full announcement earlier today and breaks down the new details. Natalie?
Well, John, I'm out here at Bayfront Festival Park, which sat virtually empty last summer due to those gathering restrictions. And although it doesn't really look like it now, believe it or not, come this summer, we will be able to enjoy this space once again for things like festivals and concerts after the governor's latest announcement today. Now, in that address, he laid out a plan for indoor and outdoor events like festivals, graduation ceremonies, and sporting events. Starting on Monday, indoor and outdoor entertainment venues will be allowed to have a 50% capacity with a limit at 250 people. And then as we look forward to the summer months, the state will adjust guidelines for large venues with an occupancy capacity over 500. On April 1st, the maximum capacity for indoor and outdoor venues will increase to 10,000 people with additional restrictions depending on the venue size. This change opens up an opportunity for places like the Duluth Deck, who also manages Bayfront Festival Park, to welcome people back to events this summer.
It's really encouraging to think about what's going to happen at Bayfront Park, especially when you think that in 2020, there were 200 people in Bayfront Park all summer. So summer 2021 is going to be a great time for Duluthians and the Northland to gather at Bayfront Park for a wide variety of things.
Now, Reiner went on to say that this capacity increase will also have a large impact on indoor spaces of the deck, especially for events like the symphony and hockey games. Now, coming up tonight at 10, we'll have much more from Reiner about the excitement that was felt at the deck today as they anticipate a very busy season coming up here shortly. John?
Definitely looking forward to getting back out there with those summer's events. The weather's getting nice this weekend. Can't wait for the summer to get out there safely. Thanks, Natalie. Dave joins us now with a look at the weather this weekend. And as I just said, it's looking like it's going to be beautiful out there.
I think so, John. Even though I'm a winter sports fan, I'm hoping for at least a couple more times out. Tomorrow may not be the best day for winter activities, but if you're hoping for spring, it'll feel like it. We'll have sunshine just like today. And today we had high pressure take over our region from Canada, so it pushed in with its cool side and took our temperatures down from the heat wave to normal conditions, lower 30s. And because of the high pressure component, we don't see too many clouds in our sky, and so that sets us up for a very beautiful live look at just south of Cloquet at I-35, where the snow is already melting rapidly there, and frankly, it's going to melt even more rapidly tomorrow when a big warm-up comes our way. Westerly wind, the Chinook off the Rocky Mountains comes to call. Westerly 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. It'll send us up towards 50. But perhaps only for Saturday. We could cool again as early as Sunday. Will that lead to snow on Monday? I'll talk about the odds in just a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. President Biden signed the stimulus package today, and now that we know it's a done deal, Duluth will be getting more than $60 million, and St. Louis County around $54 million from that relief package. CBS 3's Alex Libby spoke with county and city officials to see if they have an idea of where that money will be spent.
John, for the most part, city and county officials say it's still too early to pinpoint exactly where that money will go, but what they did tell me, the money will go to some good places.
To be safe.
St. Louis County Administrator Kevin Gray says the most recent stimulus money will be a lifeline for many residents.
More than double what we received in the first stimulus bill, we, St. Louis County, and by extension our residences.
The county will be getting $54 million. Half of it will come in the next 3 months, and the other half will be available next summer. Gray says the money will go to who needs it most.
But in the big picture, we're still looking very much at supporting our small business community, our small businesses, our community providers and services, our nonprofits, and our hospitality industry in particular.
Gray isn't the only one excited by this increase in funding to the Northland.
I am thrilled with the amount of funding coming to the city of Duluth.
Duluth is receiving more than $60 million, which is one of the highest totals in the state. Larson says this is because, unlike other stimulus bills, the money isn't based on population, but on the need.
What it really registers is that the city of Duluth, as just a municipal system, has incurred substantial costs and liabilities as a result of the pandemic.
As for where the money is going, Larson says it's still too early to know for sure.
I can't speak with a whole lot of specificity because it's a lot of money. We need to get it right, and it needs to match every aspect of eligibility.
Both city and county officials say another highlight of this bill is it gives plenty of time to properly allocate the funds.
I think that the bill ends in 2024, at the end of 2024. I don't think we'll go out that long, but we'll have more chance to really think of an approach that can best serve the needs of our residents and the business community.
Mayor Larson says she'll have a better idea where this money will go exactly in the next couple of weeks. That's when she does her State of the City address. John, back to you.
All right, thanks, Alex. And officials also say those stimulus funds will greatly benefit those struggling to find work during the pandemic. Duluth's Workforce Development says 3,500 people in St. Louis County are still claiming unemployment every week. The federal COVID relief package extends unemployment benefits and pandemic assistance through September. Elena Fauché with Workforce says the benefits would greatly help those still struggling to find work. She says the additional funding and benefits is a much-needed investment in our community.
There's a lot of individuals, a lot of small businesses have done everything they can to make it through the last year. And they've used up all the resources they have. And so this will be just a really great injection to keep them going a little bit longer.
Fauché says 600 to 700 people call their office each month in need of unemployment assistance. The organization offers resume assistance, virtual workshops, refining interview skills, and more. They plan to continue to host virtual job fairs this spring. For more information, you can head on over to our website. New tonight, the city of Minneapolis has agreed to pay a massive settlement to the family of George Floyd. The city will pay $27 million to settle a civil lawsuit from Floyd's family. The lawsuit comes after Floyd's death in police custody. Floyd's family filed the federal civil rights lawsuit in July against the city. Derek Chauvin and 3 other fired officers are charged with his death. Meanwhile, half of the jurors in the murder trial for Derek Chauvin have been seated. That includes one man who said he has a very negative impression of Chauvin. Nevertheless, he became the 6th juror selected. The man told attorneys yesterday he could set that view aside and consider the evidence in the case. He was chosen the same day a judge restored a 3rd-degree murder charge against Chauvin. So far, the jury is made of 5 men and 1 woman. Today, Judge Cahill told the jurors that they are not investigators.
There are things you should not do during jury selection. You are not investigators. You are not to go out and do any looking, and you are not to ask people about this matter. You are not to use the internet to look for information about this case or about the law. Above all, you must not talk to anyone who is involved, the lawyers, witnesses, or spectators.
The 6 chosen include 3 people who are white and 3 people of color. Juror selection continues today. Prosecutors trying Chauvin plan to use a legal doctrine called spark of life. The goal is to humanize Floyd in front of jurors. The Assistant Attorney General says he plans to call 2 witnesses to provide the testimony. Spark of life is a term unique to Minnesota that allows prosecutors to describe a murder victim's life to jurors. Defense attorneys argue spark of life testimony has nothing to do with evidence and allows prosecutors to unfairly build sympathy with jurors. Still to come on live local CBS 3, finding a vaccination clinic has been challenging for some. How a mobile clinic will ease the challenges.
Today's normal temp is 33. We missed it by 2 degrees, so cooler than normal today, but we'll get our revenge tomorrow. We're going to go warmer than normal towards the 50s for a lot of places. We'll talk about how long that's going to dare to stick around coming up after the break.
Get local vaccine information all at CBS3Duluth.com.
Whatever your water worry, Culligan Water can help. With over 40 filtration systems, including the world's best softener, no one filters more than Culligan Water. The only water that comes with a van. Contact Culligan, the local water experts.
Mom, I'm here. Mom, where are you? Help. Mom?
Without emergency protection, you risk your life. But with Life Alert, one press of a button can get you help fast.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-458-9565. That's 1-800-458-9565. Call now, 1-800-458-9565. For a free brochure, call 1-800-458-9565.
Introducing the Cool Turtle, the ultra-comfortable mask enhancer that creates a protective, cool, and breathable space between your mask and your face. Simply slide under any mask or gaiter and immediately feel the refreshing pocket of air surrounding your face. Cool Turtle's ergonomically designed, soft, comfortable shell immediately reduces mask friction, allowing you to breathe and talk in a comfortable environment.
I can actually breathe. With the Cool Turtle, no more sweating.
It's like I don't even have a mask on.
Call now and get not 1, not 2, but 3 Cool Turtles for just $10. Order now and we'll send you 2 more Cool Turtles free. No fees, absolutely free. Plus, you can get a 10-pack of 4-ply face masks. Just pay a separate fee. This offer is not available on Amazon. Get the real Cool Turtle now.
Call 1-800-379-1590. That's 1-800-379-1590 or visit getcoolturtle.com. Order now.
You'll love the road ahead when you drive the 2021 Subaru Impreza. Standard EyeSight driver assist technology gives you an extra set of eyes on the road to help keep the journey safe. And the Impreza is a smart choice down the road. The 2021 Impreza. More than a car, it's a Subaru.
Lease the new 2021 Subaru Impreza for $219 a month during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now.
March is Women's History Month, and all throughout the month on CBS3 this morning, we'll be highlighting women in history who have made a difference. So be sure to tune in every morning at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
I'm Dave. This is Calvin. Welcome to the neighborhood.
You mind if I cut in? I'm trying to spice Mondays up for everybody.
Let's get this party started. Bring your friends.
What was that?
I was expressing my enthusiasm.
Watch the neighborhood.
Watch.
Have a show, though.
I'm in. Boom.
Hard to wrap my head around.
Why's the bottle half empty?
I started celebrating early. Bring your friends.
Local news and local weather here on CBS 3.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Well, let's talk about today's high temperatures because they have come down from the warm spell down to a little bit of a cool snap here. I say just a little bit because it will warm up again tomorrow. But today, keeping in mind that the normal is 33, International Falls got over that by a little bit or came up even with it. Hibbing undercut it by about 3 degrees. Duluth at the airport, 31. Superior, 33 at the Bong Airport. Ashland was following suit. And mid-30s towards Hayward and 31 to 33 in the Upper Peninsula. So pretty close to normal. Tomorrow, though, we could put another 20 degrees on top here. The Chinook wind coming off the backside of the Rockies is going to heat us up with that compressional heating, at least for a day. As early as Sunday, we go back to temperatures like that in the low to mid-30s. Right now, we have the upper 20s at the airport in Duluth, and it's pretty dry with a relative humidity reading of 36%. Westerly, southwesterly winds going 9 miles per hour. Tomorrow, the Chinook makes it due westerly and could go towards 20 miles per hour, and that's one of the reasons why we're going to warm up so drastically, if only briefly. 3.46 inches of mercury is our air pressure at the surface. It's on the high side, thanks to a Canadian high-pressure cell that came in today, cleared up the sky, but also sent the temperatures down just a little bit. And at this moment, we're looking at 26 to 28 in the Upper Peninsula, 26 to 33 in northwestern Wisconsin. Hayward's the warm spot, 34 towards Moose Lake and Willow River. And again, the folks in that neck of the woods tomorrow, they have a Wild Bill Racing Circuit vintage snowmobile race going on, but their high temp could hit 55 tomorrow. Hopefully the sleds can handle that. 27, that's the current temp for Two Harbors. We have 31 International Falls. Lows tonight, upper teens to the lower 20s. Now, the Doppler map shows the high-pressure cell that came in today, keeping the sky on the clear side. Just a few scattered clouds here and there, brewing up, fading away. And that's the way things will roll tomorrow as well, as that high-pressure cell continues to keep us on the warm side and really makes us warm by driving in that westerly wind off the backside of the Rockies. That's going to toast things up into the 50s, like I mentioned. But as early as Sunday, it starts to go down once again. The winds shift, they become easterly, and then we start to keep our eye on this Colorado low that's forming up. For folks in Colorado, they're going to get a lot of snow next couple of days. But here in our area, I think the high is going to keep it at bay down to the south, and maybe Monday we get some flurries. What do we get tonight? In Minnesota, the range of low temps will go 18 to 24. And in Wisconsin, Michigan, I think about 15 to 19. For tomorrow, with a sunny sky, Wisconsin, Michigan highs run 52 to 57, and Minnesota numbers go 48 to 55, much warmer than normal for one whole day. Then back to reality Sunday, 35 and sunny, 30% chance for the flurries on Monday, and that seems to be the only chance for precip for the week ahead, John. Then the sun builds back in again by Tuesday, and we stay that way with a high near 40 the rest of the week.
Hey, I'll take 40s. I'm liking that forecast. Thank you very much, Dave. Getting access to vaccination clinics has been a challenge for many people, including the over 2,000 Boys Fort tribal members who've lived throughout Minnesota. The reservation has vaccinated 1,700 of their eligible tribal members, and noticed members who live outside the reservation had a harder time accessing their clinics. But with a little help from a mobile unit, the Tribal Emergency Response Team decided to take the vaccine clinic to those members at the end of March. Through COVID CARES Act funding, the reservation purchased an emergency service unit that they'll drive to Duluth and the Twin Cities Metro.
To be able to expand out to the outside areas and help our tribal members and their families is really amazing for us, and we're just so happy that we're able to do that.
Boys Fort will use the mobile unit as an extra ambulance and for other public health needs in the future. They say their reservation is the only one in Minnesota taking their vaccine efforts on the road. And a reminder, be sure to head to bed early this weekend. Daylight savings times begins this Sunday. In the early hours of Sunday morning, clocks will spring ahead 1 hour. The shift comes at 2 a.m. local time and doesn't set back until November 7th. Every state except Hawaii and parts of Arizona participate in the bi-yearly time shift. Congress passed the Uniform Time Act that mandates the time shifts on the second Sunday of March and first Sunday in November in 1966. Ahead in sports, we are 24 hours away from the start of the NCHC playoffs for UMD. Kelly Henseth is in next with a preview.
Northwest Outlet is your ARE truck topper headquarters.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
There are a lot of choices when it comes to automotive care, but how can you find someone you trust? At East End Auto, our customers have trusted us for the past 20 years to provide them with the best auto care. As your area's full-service repair shop, With the most modern equipment available to us and backed by a 2-year, 24,000-mile nationwide warranty, honesty is what our customer relationships are built upon.
Locally family-owned and operated. Stop out to see why Easton Auto is the community's trusted auto repair home.
March is Women's History Month, and all throughout the month on CBS3 this morning, we'll be highlighting women in history who have made a difference. So be sure to tune in every morning at 5 a.m.
Watch Caitlin and Jenna in the morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready, because sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. We will always be there when our community needs us the most. Find out more about serving your community part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Okay, Dad. 1, 2, 3. You saved me. Dad?
Are you okay?
I'm fine, dear. Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Baki. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by Range Regional Airport.
One of the reasons that I love our focus here at CBS3, which is live and local, is because that's me. I'm from here. This is my home. When people reach out with a story idea or a concern about something going on in their neighborhood that they would like to know more about, and they're looking to us for answers, that means a lot to me. It's just incredibly important that we show up for the folks in our region and make sure that they are in the know as much as we are.
Now, CBS 3 Sports with Kelly Hinson.
You can go ahead and throw out the regular season records, the stats, everything, because this is March, and this is tournament time for the UMD men's hockey team. Their drive for yet another national title begins tomorrow night when they take on Western Michigan. The 3-seeded Bulldogs and 6-seeded Broncos will be meeting tomorrow night in the final game of the opening round of the NCHC Frozen Face-Off Tournament taking place in Grand Forks, North Dakota. Players all around say they are thankful to just still be playing.
Obviously a crazy time last year, just not knowing what was going to happen, and a year later, we're thankful to be playing, and we kind of saw last year just how quickly it can be taken away. So we're obviously so grateful for the opportunity to be here or wherever. So we're just happy to be playing and so excited for the week to come.
It is a tough test on tap that stands between them and the NCHC semifinals. The Dogs' first game of the tournament can be seen on our My9 Sports Network tomorrow night. Puck drop between the Bulldogs and the Broncos is at 7:30 p.m. In D3 hockey, game 1 in the Harris Cup semifinals for St. Scholastica down at Marion College. Things got off to a good start for the Saints. Jordan Freilich fires one from the point. It's bouncing around in there and gets through. They take a 1-0 lead, but Marion would later equalize, and 10 minutes in, they grab a lead of their own as tie ends with the snipe. Makes it a 2-1 Sabres game after a period. To the second, how's this for pretty passing? Philemon Lendikov to Tyler Hitzer to Arkib Lendikov, knotted back up at 2 apiece. These two teams split in the regular season, but Marion got the last laugh this afternoon. 4 unanswered goals. They win it 6-2. The final game 2 of the series is tomorrow. And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz had some exciting news for sports fans this morning when he loosened some restrictions on large gatherings. Starting on April 1st, fans are coming back. 10,000 at Target Field, 3,000 at the X for Wild Games, and as for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Minnesota United could also have up to 10,000, although they have not specified yet. The Minnesota State High School League has not announced a fan policies for their state tournament events as well. They say they will provide additional information soon. Well, to us, hockey lineup intros are informative. To Ella Ireno, they've taken on a whole new meaning. Nick Tabbert from our sister station in Eau Claire explains.
From Duluth, Minnesota, number 9, Ella Ireno.
Each game, Ella Ireno hears her hometown as she skates to the line. It rarely matches what's written on the lineup card.
We had her from a desert in Africa last week. I can't even pronounce it.
It all started with an unfortunate error. Ireno, a Duluth East grad, was listed from Hermantown her first game.
Her high school beat my high school when I was a senior, and so I've never forgiven her, even though she wasn't born yet for that. Play all kinds of practical jokes on her because of it.
Each week, Strand picks a new hometown for his junior defenseman.
Russia, Yugoslavia, all the Scandinavian countries, near the Arctic Circle in Canada.
I go search it. I like to look at it's just calming to see oh, this is what it looks like. This is how many people. And then there's a lot of times that I'll text him and be like, oh, did you see this about this place? Or text my parents and I'll be like, yeah, I'm one of 200 today.
It gives Ireno a sense of relief, which is crucial before the biggest games of the season.
I'm a really nervous person when it comes to games, and it's one of those things that I can take back and giggle about.
Ireno's Blue Golds are taking on UW Superior in the WIAC semifinals tonight at Last Chance. Eau Claire had a 6-2 lead going into the second intermission. And that is going to do it for sports for now. We'll have more coming up here tonight at 10. For now, John, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. And before we go tonight, a Wisconsin State trooper had a head-scratching moment when he recently pulled over a pickup truck. And here is why. Yes, you see it there on your screen. The owner removed the seats and replaced the driver's seat with a camping chair. The State Patrol posted this picture on their Facebook page. The post had close to 3,000 shares and hundreds of comments. Some people speculated the driver did that so he can use the truck for ice fishing. The driver was pulled over for an equipment violation, but no word on if he is facing any charges. And you know what, Dave? I bet he did use that for ice fishing because, you know, you could just stay warm in the car there, although I think your line would need to be pretty long if that truck had a lift on it.
Yeah, you just might be right there, John. And how many of us in this region with a rusted-out northern beater had to put in 2x4s to keep the seat in place? Maybe something along that line as well. Well, snow. That's going to be melting away rather rapidly on Saturday as warm conditions come to call. High temp 50s for our area. It's because of the Chinook winds downsloping off the Rockies. But by Sunday, we already fall back towards reality, which is mid-30s this time of year.
All right, thanks, Dave. That's the news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.